everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I want to talk to you about why narcissists hate boundaries. We often hear that boundaries are narcissist kryptonite, and this is very true. But why? Mostly it's because narcissists take boundaries as a rejection. When you say to a narcissist, "No, I will not do this," or "No, you cannot do that," they perceive this as an abject rejection. You are rejecting their feelings, their needs, and therefore you're rejecting them. The basic mindset of the pathological narcissist is, if you don't give me what I want, if you don't let me do what I want, you don't care about me. It's a very childish and emotionally immature way to view the world. It's kind of like if there is a small child who wants to eat bleach under the sink. When the mother stops the child becomes upset with the mother. To the child, mommy's being mean. This is similar to the way narcissists see it. If they can't do whatever they want, you're being mean. Doing these things make them feel better. If you don't let them do these things, you don't want them to feel better. Therefore, you don't care. If you loved me, you'd let me do whatever I want. They don't care or understand that the things they're trying to do are hurtful to themselves or to other people. All they care about, just like a child, is what they want. This is why boundaries turn narcissists off. People who have self-respect, who are confident, who know their own worth, usually won't put up with the narcissist's antics for very long. This, of course, tells the narcissist that this person doesn't care about them. Someone who doesn't care about them can't be manipulated, so there's no point in continuing the association. Narcissists look at things in terms of emotions and fulfillment. How does this make me feel? What can I get out of this? When someone has strong boundaries, they will feel rejected because they're not getting what they want. They can't abuse this person to make themselves feel better or play mind games to manipulate someone into chasing after them, so to them, the relationship is basically pointless. If they can't enmesh with another person and emotionally leech off of them, there's no value in the association. People with strong boundaries do not permit enmeshment. Without that, there's no interest from a narcissist. And just to remind everybody, enmeshment is what happens when the boundaries between two people become so poor and so blurred that it's impossible to tell where one person ends and the other one begins. There's no difference between each other's feelings and things like that. That is not healthy. We often hear that narcissists target people who are empathic and things like that. And it's true that they're drawn to those kind of people, but they're also drawn to people with money, with high social standings, and lots of other qualities that they themselves don't have. They run their game on lots of people, basically everybody. But it doesn't work on everybody because not everybody wants to play the narcissist game. Not everybody is vulnerable to their manipulations or will put up with their crap. People who have poor boundaries are the most susceptible. They don't have the firm limits on what they will not accept the way that other people do. People who have strong boundaries have a very hard line regarding what they will not tolerate. The first time the narcissist is disrespectful or pushes a boundary, these people end the relationship. And the narcissist will push the boundaries. They can't not do it. Because of the way they view the world, they see no separation between themselves and other people. They believe their feelings are everyone's feelings, and their feelings are all negative and self-centered. It's therefore inevitable that projection will happen, where the narcissist says how they feel is what you did or what you said or how you feel. Then here come the crazy accusations and all the horrible abuse. They have to punish you for these feelings that you didn't even have. But instead of trying to explain or figure out what's wrong with this accusing, disrespectful, cruel, and horrible person, a person with strong boundaries just says, "I will not put up with this," and the relationship ends. They know it doesn't matter what's wrong with this person because that kind of behavior is inexcusable. Narcissists are not interested in people who won't give them excuses. If you will not let them slide, if you will not take their abuse, they're not going to bother with you. This is why it's so important to stick to your boundaries. If you don't hold firm even one time, they will come back at you 10 times harder. They see it as a weakness and they will burrow and twist and dig at that until something or someone breaks. It's like a dog trying to get out of a crate. They find one weakness in the structure and they push and dig and shove against it until it breaks and they can get out. Doesn't matter how big of a weakness it is, one crack will do it because the pressure will be mounted against that until the whole thing falls apart. The sad, maybe even tragic irony in all of this is, though this is the way we talk about it in order to understand it, the majority of narcissistic people don't think about these things this way. There's no big plan involved. These things are simply second nature to them. They're just doing what they've always done. It's how they operate. They have no idea there's some other way to be or some other way to relate to people, and they wouldn't care and couldn't change even if they did. This is what they are. That's another part of why narcissistic people hate boundaries. Narcissistic rage. That's also who and what they are. They just plain don't like being told no. You will never see a bigger rage from a narcissist than you see when you tell them no about something. Boundaries are a big fat no. No, you will not act this way. No, you will not treat me like this. No, this relationship will not continue. No, you cannot have what you want. No, 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 no. Narcissistic rage is a reaction, and remember, everything they do is reactive to what's called a narcissistic injury. A narcissistic injury is a real or perceived threat to or attack on the narcissist's self-worth or self-image. As listeners of this show know, their self-image is horribly, delusionally negative, and they have no self-worth at all, other than the false things that they project onto the world. As a result of this, these things are very fragile because the narcissist knows they're false. They are projecting that ugly, damaged, deformed, unlovable thing they believe themselves to be. To expose this thing to public scrutiny is to die of shame. They are paranoid and terrified that what they really are will be exposed, and they overreact to these threats on a large scale. This is what narcissistic rage is. It's a primitive defense reaction to what they consider to be a life-threatening situation. Being told no to the narcissist is not just being told no. It's not just being told, no, you can't have that. No, you can't do that. No, I will not do that. It's being told, you're not what you're saying you are. You're not a deserving person worthy of things just like everybody else. You are worthless and unworthy of anything. Now, many narcissists will leave the situation rather than risk this exposure, especially early in a relationship. They just won't keep bothering. This is one way boundaries help discourage narcissistic people from pursuing you. However, narcissistic rage can be dangerous if they choose to fight instead of take flight. An example of this is a situation where a man asks a woman to dance at the bar and she says no, so he punches her in the face. Total stranger. In another situation like that I read about, the man stabbed the woman and nearly killed her just for saying no to a dance. These are both real-life examples of narcissistic rage in reaction to a narcissistic injury, such as rejection. Sometimes the first incident of narcissistic rage is what ends a relationship. People will be together for a few months, and then the first time that narcissistic rage shows up, the partner's like, man, I'm out of here. Most of the time, though, you'll see narcissistic rage when the relationship is established, and the narcissist, who's used to getting their own way, is told no or otherwise feels rejected. Look at the case of Jodi Arias, who killed her boyfriend after stalking and harassing him for however long. Narcissistic rage is often a tool to keep control over the situation as well. The narcissist uses it to hold the family or the person hostage with abuse and rage until the narcissist gets what they want. It may or may not turn physical, but people might be subjected to abuse, criticism, threats, cruelty, hysteria, the silent treatment, and any number of other things until the narcissist is given what they want. This is the dangerous adult version of a temper tantrum. Some people disagree with that characterization of the behavior, but narcissists would need to be able to process and understand emotions more maturely and complexly than they can in order for it to be something else, and most of them are just not able to do that. It is a temper tantrum, the same kind you see in a toddler, because this is the level of emotional maturity that you're dealing with. Calling it a temper tantrum should not be taken as a way to minimize the severity of this behavior, though. A grown person with emotions that out of control is dangerous, and that should not be forgotten. A 2-year-old does not have the ability to harm you during a temper tantrum. An adult does. So, yet another reason why boundaries are so important and so valuable. They not only remind us of our own self-worth, but they keep narcissists away. Can't get better than that. I hope this clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you and have a wonderful narcissist and psychopath-free day.